Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So as I was editing some more YouTube videos, Palworld decided to drop their early access roadmap. Now, I will say right off the bat, it is a little bit vague and less roadmappy and more just like, this is what we're planning to do. There's some more information at the side of the tweet as well. So we're going to be sort of just, going into it, discussing it, talking about some of the improvements that I would like to see, and just, having a good time from there. So first of all, they got addressing critical issues. Currently, numerous bugs have been identified, and we're prioritizing fixing those. Sometimes the world date may experience rollbacks. That happened to me, actually. I went from being on like day 30 to like day 1. It didn't affect my save progress, though, so whatever. The loading screen may persist when trying to load into worlds. That hasn't happened to me yet, and so on. Improvements to implement ASAP. Key configuration improvements. Improvements to base PAL AI and pathing. That definitely is needed in bases. I've noticed some PALs will get like stuck on the outskirt of bases, and some of the really big PALs will have a hard time like using certain things, and when you throw them at things, the hitboxes are off. So we definitely need that. Now, planned future updates. Obviously, they have PvP. PvP is something that a lot of people are going to really be into. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a huge PvP guy, but I could see PvP doing really well. Especially in games like Rust and stuff where PvP is really just like enjoyed. Raid bosses, end game content. So this is, I think the raid bosses, they're referring to like the tower bosses. There's 5 right now. There's also a tree that you can't get to. So I'm assuming they're going to add a couple more towers and then make it so you can get to that tree. There's a glitch to get to the tree, but you can't, well, not to the tree, but to the island where the tree's on, but you can't actually go further. And some people think that's going to be like the quote unquote Elite Four area, but also, a lot of people forget Palworld, despite the controversy with the designs, doesn't play like Pokemon, so I don't think there's going to be like an Elite Four. But anyways, PAL Arena, PvP just for PALs. That's kind of interesting, actually. I could see that being something like you just send your pals out and watch them fight, or maybe you can control them as if you were mounting them. I'm not too sure. Steam Xbox crossplay, various Xbox feature improvements, server transfers and mitigation, improvements to the building system, new islands. I like that. New islands, so the tree island would be one of them. Pals, bosses, and technology. So with regards to new islands, I was discussing this with my buddy Barry Bandit, actually. He's also covering Palworld and Monster Taming on YouTube, but we were wondering if they're going to do it like Ark, where there'll be like different world maps and you could like teleport to the different world maps. So then when you're like in that area, you pull up the world map, it's like its own region. Or if they're just going to add islands to the map itself. Because in terms of like saving space and making things run better, it might be better if they add like, we have the island of Pal, whatever it's called, I don't even remember. But we could also have like, it's a huge island, right? And they said new islands here. I don't know if they're talking about like little islands like around the island, around the major island, or if they're talking about like adding entire new maps to the game. Because I think that could be pretty cool as well, just because you could have like, post-launch updates and expansions and stuff like that, and sort of continue the game from there. But yeah, more pals, more bosses, and technologies, always welcome. And by technologies, they're talking about technologies like points. Right now the level cap's 50. I could definitely see that expanding it as time goes on. Now, the only thing about this is we don't actually have any dates for anything. So by the way this is like sort of laid out, critical issues are obviously first. Improvements to implement ASAP are obviously going to be ASAP, as soon as possible. And then those are just planned future updates, but we don't really have like timelines for this. Like, will this happen over the next couple months that we'll start getting pals? Will we get pals like every few weeks, or will we have like specific like major updates, like kind of like what we saw with Temtem? Like Temtem had its Kisiwa update, then it had its Sipanku update, then it had its Arbory update, then it went into 1.0. Like, will we see something like that, or will it be like, oh, every week here's a new pal added to the map or something? I don't know which one's better. I like the sort of, oh, here's a chunk of new game to play, so it's not just like playing the game for an hour and then being done with it again. I'd be down for like bigger expansions, even if they're spaced out a little further, but that's just me. But yeah, all the stuff that they kind of mentioned here on the side is pretty much the same thing. They say, we would like to share a roadmap with you for Palworld. Sales have far exceeded development team's expectations, and we're currently experiencing many problems due to excessive access congestion, among other challenges. Makes sense. Even Temtem couldn't prepare for the launch, and they had like 40,000 active players, whereas this game has like 1.5 million. Like these guys are selling comparable to a Pokemon game, which is just insane. We'll prioritize improving this issue at first, and then move on to implementing new in-game features. Thank you for understanding. And then they just basically have all the list of this stuff here. So nothing too crazy. Bucky says the future of Palworld looks good. Big year ahead for everyone and their pals. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much what we got so far. I want to start putting out some videos because you guys who have been following my channel, like I know I have a somewhat decent amount of new subscribers here, but this channel is a monster taming channel. Our whole focus of the channel is the genre as a whole, and I would like to use this you know, hype that's surrounding Palworld to get some people more interested in other monster taming games. I've seen a lot of people who are part of like the boycott crowd, which look, I'm not here to judge you. Play it if you want to play it, don't if you don't. I personally like the game. I think it's fun. Until anything's proven in court, I'm not gonna have any opinions, because you know, a lot of people forget, like, you can't just come on the internet and say things. Like you like let's just say, you know, I went on here and said, oh, they ripped off all the models, and they didn't. I could technically be liable for defamation. So I'm personally just gonna stay out of things and wait until we have concrete proof of anything before making any big opinions. But what I will say is, if you are someone who doesn't want to play Palworld because you feel like the designs are too similar, or you just don't like survival games or whatever, you know, try other monster taming games. There's so many content creators that were like, if another monster taming game came out with better designs, I would have played it, or with less, you know, with less similar designs, I would have played it. And I'm like, all right, well, I've been covering this genre for 4 years. Where were you when Coromon came out? Or Nexomon? Or Dragon Quest Monsters? Or Digimon Survive? Or Digimon World Next Order? Or SMT5? Or any other game that has come out since that time? So guys, if you're new to the channel, whether you're new or you're just, you know, a longtime viewer, subscribe. Let's push the monster taming genre more, you know, forward even more. And monster taming has become mainstream outside of Pokemon with this game. Let's try to keep pushing. Let's push for more monster taming game. I'm really I'm so excited for the future of the genre, because there's going to be a ton of monster taming games coming out of the woodworks because of the success of Palworld. So stay tuned for all that, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.